everything that you need in order to fulfill all of your wildest dreams and goals and desires are all within you. And I know how frustrating that can sound when people say, oh, everything you need's within you, especially when you don't feel it yourself. And I used to tell people, everything you need is within you. And I didn't truly understand it. I was just saying it because it sounded good and I wanted some approval. But the truth is, everything you need is within you. Now, if you don't understand this concept, and I don't mean that in a way that you can't understand it, it's just it hasn't clicked yet. Hang around. Or if you want more clarity on it, hopefully I can provide that clarity for you, because it clicked with me a while ago. And how it clicked was, I had to see, okay, the whole idea of this manifestation journey, and there's millions of videos now where you can learn about all this sort of stuff. But if we were to break it down to its most simplistic form, and I always try and make these videos as simple as I possibly can, you are currently living your reality as you are, having the experiences you're having. So that's your life. But there's something different that you want. And so you desire that. You're here, you desire that. Yet you can't seem to attain those things. So you're continuing living your life from this version of you, having these experiences, but you want these other experiences because that's what you believe is going to potentially make you happy. But at least it's going to mean that you can enjoy life a little more. And we don't want to demonize our desires. Our desires are very, very good, and it's a great thing to be able to achieve our desires and fulfill them, right? Now, what most people will do is they're so identified with this version of themselves that they've been living their whole life that they don't realize that there's an almost infinite number of versions of them that exists within their psyche, but they're just choosing to play out this one character. But this one character is what has created your current situation of having the experiences you currently have and not having the experiences that you currently want. So in order for you to shift over to be having the experiences you want, you have to be able to essentially identify with this version and say goodbye to this version in order to start having these experiences. So this could be you earning a certain amount of money each month, and you want to be this guy earning even more money, or you want to be this guy who's got an abundance of beautiful women, or a secure, loving relationship, whatever it is. But you're not creating it because you're so caught up and identified with this version of you. Now, this version of you that you're being is your manifestation. So you're already a very powerful creator, you're a very powerful manifester, and you are manifesting this reality. Now, you may not look at it like that. You may think, I'm not manifesting until I get that, and then I'm manifesting. Nah. You're manifesting everything that you have in your life, all the problems, all the issues, all the struggles, and all the good things as well. You've created it all. Now, there might be someone here who sees the experiences you're having and think, I wish I was having what that man had. I need to now manifest over to here so I can have the experiences that you're having. And you're here going, I want these experiences, I'm not manifesting until I get over here. And this guy's potentially looking at another guy going, right, I'm not manifesting until I get over here. Do you see what we're doing? We're not noticing that we are already creating our entire reality based on the version of ourselves we are. And the reason, and this mostly goes on unconsciously, so we don't know that we're doing it. But the version of you that you're currently living out has been chosen mostly unconsciously because that maintains your safety. Now, if you were to earn a little bit less money a month, or have even more lack consciousness around relationships with women or whatever it is, that would feel painful to you, right? You don't want that pain. So you don't go into a version of you that's having lesser experiences. And I don't mean to say that no one along this chart is better than anyone else. It's just having different experiences, right? You could say different vibrations. The guy over here has got more heavier emotions and therefore in a lower vibration, and guys are over here, they're in a high vibration. But no one's better than the other. So the version of you that you're currently being here, as I was saying, if you don't want to go down here because that's going to feel shit, right? And you don't want to feel shit. But the reason why you're not being over here is because you don't want to feel shit still. And so you've unconsciously chosen this version of you that is basically, okay, this is safety. This is where I'm at my most safe. And you want to now start re-identifying with a totally new character. It's still you at your core, it's still yourself. The self is, the part of you that doesn't really change. You could say your essence, different ways of explaining it. But you want to be able to come over here now. Now, the reason why you haven't had that yet is because that is as unsafe as that. Here doesn't get your needs met, nor does here, because you have certain safety needs, as we all do, and the person here is afraid to move on, and it just keeps going in every direction, essentially. So this version that you want to be, this new identity that's going to have the experiences that you want to have, is going to be living a life that you're currently afraid to live. Your nervous system isn't wired to handle the sort of tension that comes at this guy. So in terms of like earning a certain amount of money, say you wanted to earn, like this guy's earning like 3 times as much as you're currently earning, that might create some judgments from your friends or even your family, and you've picked them up. You've heard everything that's ever been said by your family and close friends about people of wealth, and it might be that they have negative opinions of people that have a lot of money or drive nice cars because they think they're just showing off or whatever it is. Okay, and then you don't know this, but unconsciously you're like, oh fuck, if I earn all that money, I'm gonna get abandoned by my family and friends. And we rely on relationships to feel a sense of security in life and to not feel abandoned, right? So unconsciously you're like, shit, if I'm over here, I'm gonna get abandoned by my closest friends and family. And so that's fucking scary, and that's why you don't create it, because there's too uncomfortable here, too much uncomfortability here. Same with relationships, maybe. Well, definitely. So let's say you're in a bit of lack around finding a beautiful woman to go on a date with. You want to come over here. This guy, he's approaching women and letting them know his desires and how he feels, how she makes him feel, and he's very open and honest and grounded and masculine. Wow, this guy's living a good life, right? You want a bit of that. Well, why aren't you? This guy's going to have to deal with some rejection. You can't just be that guy who just never gets rejected. And if you are, you got a lot of shit under the surface that you're not dealing with. This guy, in order to be this guy, you've got to be able to handle rejection, because this guy isn't attached to women. And so that's what allows them to be drawn to him, because he's free. He's free, There's different levels to it, but there's way more free over here. But so, do you see what I mean? Like, you're gonna have to deal with rejection, and if your nervous system, and you've just built up these strategies from when you were younger to not feel rejected, which we all have, otherwise we're enlightened pretty much, you're going to avoid that, and so you're just living the life as you currently are. So now, here's the magic key. You've got to spend some time getting to know this guy. You've got to find out by going into your imagination and calming your nervous system down. Now, if you're caught up in survival, if you're caught up in your habits and addictions, you're going to be in a level of stress that's going to make it very hard to access your imagination. You're not even going to want to sit still long enough in order to do this deep work. But if you can make some changes to your lifestyle that's going to allow you to feel more calm within your nervous system and therefore your mind, you're going to go into your imagination and literally step into this version of you. And then look at the world through his eyes and get to know who that guy is. Really get a felt sense of awareness of how it feels to be walking around as that guy, right? How does he interact with people? How does he feel? What's his predominant emotions? What are the thoughts that are popping off in his head? Is he spending his time on social media, or is he out creating, putting good stuff out to the world and earning good money? Is he do you see what I mean? Like, you've got to, and this is how we bring this version, because you could say that you're always here and you're just bringing these versions into you. That's kind of how it is. So it's not like you're moving along. You're staying as you are and you're pulling this version of you over to your present. But you've got to do it with presence. That's one big key. You've got to be present. Presence allows you to tap into that. When you lose presence, you go into the stories of the head. You're going to shoot back down again, or just stay where you are. Now, this is, I can't recommend this enough. When you step into this version, it's like, imagine just stepping into him, right? And then you're looking at the world from that version. You want to then deal with all the emotions that come up, all the uncomfortable emotions that come up around living that version. So you got to deal with the doubt, the insecurity, the fear, the anger, the shame, the guilt, all of that shit. And that releases the energetic kind of residue that you're carrying. And the more you can do that, you then attach yourself to the polarity, the opposite polarity of that. As in, the opposite polarity of the fear and discomfort is the feeling of having the thing. And then you can like feel it in your heart. And then you can start, so you then start stepping out into the world from that version. And if that looks like, say you want to be able to approach a beautiful woman, you might step out into the world feeling that version. And then you go and approach her, and then all of your insecurities come back, and you go back to way down here, and you feel like a little boy, and you're scared of being rejected, and you're not yourself, right? And then you think, I'm shit at this, I can never be that version of me. And then you go back to like your habits and addictions, and you just go back to the old way of living, because you think your beliefs were triggered. But the truth is, you were gifted with this opportunity of bringing up all the shit in you that's not what you want, so you can truly feel it, welcome it, release it. And then therefore you're going to start bringing in those experiences. So you can see that woman who triggered your insecurities is like a gift from the universe to bring up all the shit in you that's not what you want. How divine is that? How beautiful is that? When we have an intention, everything that's not that comes up, arises. And that's where most people fail, because they don't want to feel that shit. So if you want to move up here, you've really got to start letting go of some shit, and you've got to let go of it by feeling it, by experiencing it in your body from a non-judgmental awareness place. You can a good way of doing it is to, like, if you're lying down in bed or something, or just somewhere quiet, and you allow those emotions of lack and the heavy shit to come up, watch yourself feeling them. So there's the me feeling the emotion, and then you kind of become the awareness, witnessing yourself feeling the emotion, and it kind of takes you out of the emotion itself and allows you to kind of become the witness, and that gives the energy the space to move. Energy, emotion is energy, emotion, energy and motion. The energy is the emotions that are caught up in you aren't given the motion that they need to release until you give it the space. And once you can do that, then the emotions move out of you. The Latin root for emotion is move out, movere or something like that. Our emotions are designed to move out of us when we give it the space. Now you can start stepping into this other reality that has all these experiences you want. What a beautiful, beautiful way of living. A lot of people think it's weird. I don't. I think it's fucking amazing. What a cool way to live your life. Bringing in more experiences, experiencing life from a new reality rather than just staying the same where you are. But this version is going to trigger some people that this version doesn't want to trigger. So you're going to have to learn that people close to you might not like this version of you. What are you going to do then? Are you going to choose safety and connection over your authenticity? If you are, it's going to make it very hard, like crabs in a bucket, pulling you back down. I mean, there's not the people around you are consciously putting you down. You're allowing yourself to fall back down in order to not feel rejected by the other crabs in the bucket. But when you choose authenticity over connection, now you can step over here and just kind of accept the uncomfortable reality that not everyone in your life currently here is going to like this version of you. But that's okay, because you stand for truth and you rely on your relationship with self as being the most important, because that's the truth of it. It is the most important. I hope this brings some clarity to the whole manifestation process. There's a lot of bullshit out there. There's a lot of people relying on you, not wanting to go out and take action and feel uncomfortable. Therefore, you buy a bunch of courses where you just hang around and wait for these experiences to come to you. There is some truth to that. But how about stepping out into discomfort and fear, out of your comfort zone and learning to handle more fear? How about treating this as your hero's journey? Because we all carry childhood wounds that bring us into childhood. And this is like our initiation into manhood. We can go on this journey ourselves. We find out the reality we want to be living, and then we step out into the world and experience that, feel the fear. So we're living on our edge. No better way to live. Follow for more, and thank you for listening. Please subscribe and let me know if you want to work together.